Good evening, sir. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Let's wait for 2 more minutes. Let others to join. Thank you. If you have any question in between, you can ask now. Yeah. Okay, we will start. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So this is Saravanan, PhD scholar and Prime Minister Research Fellow of Department of Civil Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. So, as a basic intro about me, I have done my civil engineering in Government College of Engineering, Bodhi, and my postgraduate from College of Engineering, India, Anna University in Environmental Engineering through GATE 2019 score. And I joined National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli, 2021, with again with my civil GATE score. And in 2022, I got a Prime Minister Research Fellowship by submitting a proposal to the Government of India. And you can go through the pmrf.in website to know more about this. NIT is only NIT in India. NIT Trichy is the only NIT in India eligible for a Prime Minister Research Fellowship. Other than that, we have all the IITs and some of the institutes. So, as a part of deliverables, uh, I am assigned with this course plastic waste management. So we have 8 week session for problem solving. So we have 8 week sessions, problem solving sessions. Yeah. So every week we have divided the session into two parts. First one, I am going to teach again all the lecture PPT of Professor Rajesh Kumar Dubey sir, and then in the next 1 hour we are going to discuss about the old assignments, that is 2021 and 2022 assignments in the same plastic waste management course. So let's go on to the lecture material. So if you have any doubt, you just type it in the chat box, and you can or you can ask at the end of the session. Yeah. So hope my screen is visible, everyone, and my voice is audible. Yeah. So this material is material belongs to Dr. Rajesh Kumar Dubey sir, and all credits goes to him. And in first 4 weeks we have discussed. Oh, sorry, my voice is not audible.
Audible. Audible. It is audible.
Is it clear? Is it clear now?
Yeah, it is clear for me.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Uh, Chandana sir or ma'am, can you please check your network? Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, we will continue. So, in the first week, we have discussed about what is plastic, what are the ingredients, how the plastic is manufactured, and throughout what is the statistics of plastic manufacturing, and in India as well as in all over the world. We have discussed about the uses and its statistics. In the second week, we have discussed about the plastic waste, how it's generated, its source, and its statistics. Then third week we have discussed about the plastic waste management rules 2016 in India and other global rules and regulations, uh, especially for plastic waste. In the last week we have discussed about the plastic ban in India and in different states of India regarding the ban of single-use plastics. Then we have discussed about the China's national SWOT policy and its impact, how it impacted plastic waste import to China as well as import to other countries, import and export. How they have created their own alternatives to manage the plastic waste that is generated inside their country. So in this week, we are going to discuss about the impact of plastic waste on marine life, ecosystem, as well as the human health and environment. So whenever human health comes, we have to discuss about the whole thing. That is the whole ecosystem, wildlife. Not only because humans are in the top of the food chain or top of this food web. So we are the higher level. So when it affects the human health, we have to discuss about the whole environment and the wildlife. So that's what we are going to discuss today: the impact of plastics on marine life, wildlife, and human health. Yeah. Moving on to the next slide. Yeah, how the plastic origin in the marine environment. It will go from the land to the ocean, or it may be discarded in the ocean itself, like fisheries or during transport, export of material from the shipping. The containers may lose into the marine environment. These are all the they're all like pathways for entering enter of plastic into the marine environment. So the release of plastic into the environment is a result of inappropriate waste management, improper human behavior, and incidental pollution. Whatever the waste generated, the government should be in a position to manage the generated plastic waste, or the human have to have a tendency to discard the waste in a proper manner. If we segregate the plastic waste from other different waste like recyclables and food waste, then the government can able to segregate, and it can able to recycle the generated plastic waste. And it may be due to incidental pollution because of some industries that may deliberately discard their effluent with the plastic into the marine environment or into the land littering kind of things. So these are the different options of plastics to enter into the marine environment. So the portion of plastic litter that does not reach its landfill, like whatever the waste we are generating, that will go to landfill only, or it may end up in any incineration plant or waste to energy plant or some recyclers. It may. So these are the three pathways. One is to the recycling plant, or to waste to energy plant like incineration or something, or to landfills as a scientific landfill or a dump site. Whatever left over will be transported by wind, and it will reach rivers, ultimately into the marine environment. That's what the pathway we are seeing from the first lecture onwards. So in highly populated areas, land-based sources are dominating. So input of plastic waste into the marine environment. Land-based are the major dominant source for the plastic waste. Ship generated debris are another source for marine debris found on remote shores. Second option is, first option is land based resource, second one is ocean based resource. In land based resource, if you see, municipal solid waste located near the coast, so the plastic in the landfills, that may be, if it is sealed scientific landfill, it may have a cover system at the top, so there won't be any chance for releasing of the plastic waste dumped into the environment. But if it is a unscientific landfill or an open dump site, then the waste generated is discarded in the open ground. So it will be easily transported by wind or by rainfall, and it will reach the rivers from the landfill, and any other source of debris along the river and pathway system discharges. Discharge of untreated sewage or storm water industrial facilities, tourism. These are all options for options of land-based sources of plastic waste. Then ocean-based source. If you see, nearly 5.6 million tons of marine debris every year is estimated to come from ocean-based source alone. So 88% of the total marine debris, this is 5.6 million tons is 18% of the total marine debris input. Other 12% will be from land-based resources. So daily about 5 million items of solid marine debris are estimated to be thrown overboard or lost from ships. Yes. So the main ocean-based source. Now we are dividing the ocean-based source. What will be the sources, like merchant ships, ferries, cruise liners. In cruise liner also you can see many of the waste generated inside the cruise are not transported back to the land. It is discarded on the marine itself. So these ships are the source of marine debris in the form of household waste, sewage, cargo hold waste. So some countries, they will deliberately shift the municipal solid waste in the cargoes, and they will dispose in the sea. That is called sea disposal. One is land disposal, one is river disposal. Like sea disposal also practiced in olden days. So that kind of ships are also available for discarding medical and like this type of waste, medical and sanitary equipments, or some of the military equipments, and having nuclear emissions, that and all will be disposed in the underground, underwater, like we can say like deep sea, deep oceans, they will discard. And then naval and research vessels. So naval and research vessels produce much of this same garbage as to the merchant ship, ferries, and cruise liners. But military vessels may also deliberately dump military item to dispose of them. So this is another one area we have to focus on, how to treat the waste, that military generated waste, instead of disposing into the sea or ocean, that is the marine environment. And then pleasure craft. Some of the pleasure craft, like are, again, it's a craft used for primary household waste, sewage waste, oil containers, and recreational fisher gears are dumped from ignorance, negligence, or lack of reception facilities in local harbors. These are all pleasure craft, we'll call, specifically for disposing the waste. Then fishing vessels. In area far away from urban development, discarding fishing gears is responsible for 50 to 90% of the total marine debris. This fishing vessels is main thing we have to think about. If the fishers are not able to get back the what net, plastic net and all, they will simply discard, or it may be lost into the oceans. That's another source for marine debris. So there are different reasons why the fishing gear can become marine litter. Fishing gear is abandoned, or it may be discarded wantedly, or it may be lost, or containers are lost. This is another one. Instead of fishing gears, some containers may also lost due to turbulence, or due to like any what we call collidal with some iceberg. Some containers may lost into the marine environment. These are the different sources we can see. One is land based and sea based. So land based you can see cosmetics, personal hygiene products that may release some microplastics. Then clothing in the sense synthetic clothings. If you see that may have plastic added during its manufacturing. So while washing, every washing they will release some of the microplastics into the effluent. Then air blasting, then plastic film used in the agriculture. Some of the mulching, like strawberries, if you see, they will mulch the plant. At the time, they will use plastic sheets or films. Then littering, direct municipal solid waste littering of plastics. Then festivals, events, and coastal tourism. Most of the this type of event will generate a huge, that is the bulk waste we'll call, a huge amount of waste generated during the short span of time. So another one is sea-based resources or ocean-based resources. That is through the commercial and recreational fishing, and then pellets and debris from ship decks, aquaculture, and oil and gas platform. This is another one a major source of plastic into the sea-based plastic sources. Then all this will end up in different forms. One is like domestic and industrial wastewater discharge, or it may end up in the stormwater runoff, and it may be transported through wind, direct disposal, and okay. So direct disposal, intentionally and accidentally, and then landfill leachate, it may end up, or extreme weather events, it may be transported. Yeah. So again, if you see, this is a huge picture of like how the plastic waste is mismanaged in different countries. If you see the color of that blue color shade from 0 to greater than 5 million. In China, if you see greater than 5 million tons of mismanaged plastics per year. Like that, if you see in India also, it will be in the darker range. Some of these North American countries and African countries have darker colors. This indicates most of the mismanaged plastics will come from this Asian countries. And then if you see five important plastic waste island, we can say, that is North Pacific, South Pacific, North Atlantic, South Atlantic, and Indian Ocean. We can see different plastic island. That is the huge like majority of the plastic waste got transported from the rivers to the ocean, and due to gyres are the whirlpools of water which trap huge collection of waste in their currents. So we have different ocean currents, so that may if you discard something from the Indian Ocean, it may end up in Pacific, or it may end up in Atlantic also. This type of gyres we are having, that is the circulation of ocean water, ocean currents we will call. So that may create different patches of plastic waste in the oceans. The largest patch is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, that is in the North Pacific region. So that is having huge, it's like an island of plastic waste. So that we are going to see in the next upcoming slides. So here if you see the movement pathway for plastic, the first one is debris washed ashore onto the beaches. If it is the land, this is the beach. So whatever the discarded plastic in the the shores of the beaches, that may be washed into the ocean, or debris in the coastal water directly, debris in the coastal water, and then debris in the open ocean, which may sink into the seabed. These are movement pathways. So initially it will end up in the beach, started from the beach, transported to the coastal water, and it may sink into the ocean bed. Yeah. Then the process affecting transport of plastic in the ocean. If you see, plastic enters the ocean via rivers or beaches or any other ships that may be entering here, and it will be recapturing, and beaching is like entering, recapturing is again it may be entered into the ocean, and again beaching means the plastic may end again transported by the waves, and it will reach the coastal region, that is the beaches. Again it may be recapturing, beaching. This is one of the transport mechanism. Some plastic may be washed up along coastal lines. 1 second, sorry sir. Good evening, sir. Class like sir, in between class. Sorry. Uh, I'm sorry for this. Yeah, we will continue. So this is the transport mechanism for plastic in the ocean. So plastic may come from river or beaches or some of the ship. It may enter into the ocean. That is called recapturing. And again, it will come to the beaches by some of the waves. This is one of the transport mechanism. And then these are the current waves that will transport from the shore to the deep oceans. And algal growth on the plastic, that is another transport mechanism. Here you can see the important statistics. Less than 1% of the total plastic float on the surface. If you take 100 kg, only 1 kg is floating on the surface. Other 99 kg of plastic waste is in suspension or it is on the ocean floor. So this is another bigger eye-opening statistic we can say. Like the whole garbage bath itself, 1% only. So whatever remaining 99% is on suspension or it may be in the seabed. So the floating plastic particle you can easily remove by dragging towards the coastal region. But whatever the things in the suspension or in the sea floor, we have to think about the newer technology to clean up the ocean or plastic waste in the ocean. Some plastic may sink into the ocean floor. Again, it may come to suspension. That is called resuspension. It may sink. So this current will again it's a cycle, resuspension and sinking, resuspension and sinking. Some may be ingested into the body of some of the aquatic organisms like fishes or planktons. Then again it will be excreted into the seabed. Again it may be ingested. This is another cycle. Yeah, these are the transport mechanism for plastic in the ocean. What
That
does
means
all the
there is
plastic wind
movement.
up? Yeah,
Excuse me. In that previous slide, that means there is movement from bottom to the top surface again.
yeah, that is called
Those things are
resuspension.
resuspension.
Yeah.
And is it due to water current or something else?
We have different mechanisms, ma'am, like lakes and all we can say it is called like during different seasons the density of the water may change. The top surface will get cold and the bottom surface will be still somewhat hotter. So the denser cold water will get down and the hot water will try to come up. So this type of cycle will change every seasons. So it may transport the nutrients or the plastic. In lake we will call nutrients. In ocean you can say that is a plastic suspension that will again transport it to the top, and another season it comes it may transport it again to the bottom. So this type of cycle may happen.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one of the reason. Some other reason also that for resuspension, turbulence may happen, tectonic plate movements can happen, or volcanic eruption inside at the ocean floor may transport the settled plastic waste into the suspension. This type many factors are there. Yeah. So where does all the plastic wind up? These are I have mentioned five important patches are there for the plastic waste. So it may end up in Indian Ocean Gyre or North Pacific Gyre, North Atlantic Gyre or South Atlantic Gyre or South Pacific Gyre. So if you see this darker violet color indicates plastic garbage patch in the subtropical gyres, and the blue lines are the ocean current. So if you see India is here, so this current may go like this if you discard some plastic. So wantedly one study, in that study they have discarded different toy duck, like in swimming pool you can see some yellow colored ducks, small rubber ducks, that's a plastic. So wantedly they have discarded 10,000 ducks from North America, and they wanted to see how this plastic waste, I mean floating plastic waste was transported. They want to study the transportation mechanism. So wantedly they did this, and they have found whatever discarded in America that can be taken from Indian Ocean also. Like it may be taken from Africa also. Like that, the transport mechanism. These are the stronger currents of ocean currents that may transport the suspended plastic waste from one place to another. And these are some of the places where the current is very lower. So that will accumulate the plastic waste there itself. So it will increase in the concentration, make it as a patch. So that's what here you can see. Pacific patch, it will be 1000 to 2000 gram of plastic per kilometer square itself. So this current and all having 500 to 200 gram per kilometer square. Like that, other if it is in between 1000 to 2500, then we can say that is the patch. Yeah. Here you can see the Greater Pacific Garbage Patch. You just search this code word in Google, you will get lots of videos and lots of cleaning mechanism and NGOs what they are doing to clear this Greater Pacific Garbage Patch. How much quantity of waste is there in this patch alone? How it is? See, you can see this inference or comparison here. Size of Great Garbage Pacific Patch compared to other areas in square kilometer. So it is in 1.6, yeah, 16 lakhs, sorry, 16 lakhs, that is in 1 second, yeah, it's in kilometer square, so it may be 2.3 times bigger than the Texas or 2.5 times bigger than France and 725 times bigger than the largest landfill, that is Apex regional landfill, and then 2040 times bigger than the New York City. So that much big island of plastic waste we are having in the Pacific Ocean. So that's a threat to the future, we can say, or to the ecosystem.
It, it is 16 lakh kilometers square.
Yeah, kilometer square, you can see.
Okay.
I will once show you that. Yeah, kilometer square, 1.6 million square kilometers. That is called 16 lakhs, we can say. So you can see some of the images of Greater Pacific Garbage Patch. You can see that it's like an island itself. So the current is making wherever the flow is less or the velocity is less, it's concentrated there. All the plastic waste that is generated. So now different mechanisms are there like this ocean cleanup activities. So this is by some ocean cleanup techniques like two different boats. They are dragging with some ropes to drag all the plastic waste to the shore. This kind of techniques are evolving now. So you can go through some of the videos and they are making uh, lens and specs, some t-shirts and some different types of items from the collected plastic waste. So these are all different innovations and collection mechanism happening all over the world. Yeah, some density separation is there. Some what do we call like turbulence, they like it's a tornado they are making wantedly in the sea to collect all this plastic, like that they are new mechanisms are evolving now. You can see lots of videos related to Greater Pacific Patch and its cleanup activities. Yeah, so this kilometer square we can compare with all the known items here. So if you see another important thing we can infer from here is 94% of the plastic in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is microplastic only. So if you think like how much it got reduced in size. If microplastic means it will be less than 5 mm in size, so it can't be visible. 5 mm it will be visible, but usually microplastics are defined as the plastic that can be visible through naked eyes, and it can be only seen through microscopes less than 5 mm size of the particles. So 94% of plastic in the Greater Pacific Patch garbage patch are microplastics only. So how the distribution of ocean microplastic sources? If you see 35% of the ocean microplastic comes from synthetic textiles only. So if you see this much, what our what we call this urbanization happened, and this type of adaptation towards the synthetic textiles will lead to generation of microplastic in along with the effluent that may be discarded in the river and finally ends up in oceans. Then 28% from car tires. So tire, what are the rubbers that may be due to wear and tear that may form a suspension of particles, that is the microplastic particles, and it end up in the ocean. And then 24% from city dust, 7 from road marking alone. Road marking will again wear and tear, it will end up. So 3.7% from marine coatings and 2% from personal care products. Initially, we have discussed about microbeads and microplastic in the personal care product, but it only contributes to 2%. Most of the percentage from other public activities, and 0.3% from the plastic pellets, that is industrial activities, manufacturing, whatever the effluent they are discharging that may contain the raw material microplastics. Yeah, this is one of the statistics. So here if you see the Greater Pacific Garbage Patch, as we discussed, only the last slide, yeah, 1% is the floating substance. Then you can see about the 99% that is in the suspension and at the sea floor. So 46% of the total mass is made up of discarded fishing gear alone, that is the nets. Total in the Greater Pacific Patch, 46% it's the fishing gear. Yeah, out of which 88% is microplastic, 13% is mesoplastic, 26 is macro, and 53 is megaplastics. Yeah, that based on size variation. And then if you see the for comparison, you can see how much big it is with the other islands. You can see the comparison. And 1.6 million kilometers square, 994.193 million miles, that is the length of Greater Pacific Patch, and 1.8 trillion pieces of plastics and 80,000 tons of garbage. 99.99% of everything is plastics. So 1% may be other items like papers or some of the other discarded material like glasses and some metal pieces. Yeah, this is another statistic. And you can see here. Here, if you see, this is a concentration of plastic in Greater Pacific Garbage Patch. So you can see here, darker red is 100 kg per kilometer square. So if you take 1 kilometer square, you can see 100 kg of plastics. Like that, at the center of the patch, you can see the concentrated plastics out there. Yeah, this is another picture shows the variation of particles based on size. Like microplastic, if you see, it is more at the center, and the mesoplastic is also more at the center, and it is also distributed along the patches. And most of the centered particles are macroplastic and megaplastics. So this is the thing we can infer from this graph. So again, after reaching the marine environment, what will happen to the plastic in the sea? So if you see, these are all the sources. So beverage litter itself 33%, tire dust 18%. Here it's another report by Green Alliance. They are telling like synthetic fibers 9% and other plastic fibers, cigarettes, plastic dust, plastic bags, micro beads. These are all surface plastics. These are all 6% of all these plastics will end up in surface of that is floating plastic particles, and 94 remaining 94% will go underwater. That may 70% even out of which total 100%, 70% will sink into the sea floor with unknown consequences. Some fragments may ingested means eaten or taken into the body of aquatic organisms. And the entanglement is the turtle and all will get into this plastic bags, and it may tangle means what you know, like it may be sticking towards it, and it may wind towards the aquatic organisms. So these are all the consequences of plastic waste. So out of the 6% on the surface, local authorities spent around 173,000 euros a year for cleaning the beaches. So 136 pieces are out of which like 75% are greater than 2.5 centimeters. Less than 2.5 centimeters are 25%. That is like again microplastic. It may entangle 136 pieces of aquatic organism, 73% of seal, 86% of sea turtle, swimmers and divers. Everything are at risk. Okay. Then ingestion, if you see, 250 species have plastic in their stomach. More than 250 species of aquatic organism, including 98% of North Sea gulls. Another last point, if you see, a plastic microbead can be a million times more toxic than the water around it. So that's the inference, like how much toxic the plastics are to the aquatic organism. Yeah. So another statistics, the plastic does not go away. So that we know. Anyway, plastic is so permanent, it's not biodegradable, and it will be inert and stay in the environment for more than 500 years or 1000 years. That's what the inference we got. This year, over 9 million tons of plastic will enter into the world's ocean. It may it won't decompose, right? It will only getting into smaller, that is disintegration happens. So it will disintegrate into smaller particles. So each plastic bottle, plastic bottle, if you see, it may broke into 10,000 pieces of microplastics, and 1 million times more toxic than the water around. That's what we have discussed earlier. Yeah. 192 billion plastic pieces of plastics are discarded, out of which 122 from plastic bottles, plastic bags, microplastic and beads and fibers, other pieces of plastic packaging. So how this plastic may end up, where the plastic are end up, like 52% of this plastics are end up in sea turtles, 100% on the coral reefs. Like these are all the biodiversity ingested this type of plastics. Yeah. Then see 90% of the seabirds ingesting these plastics. 96% of all biodiversity are ingested with plastics, microplastic. Not only microplastic, every plastic particles. What are the steps we can take to uh, eliminate this type of marine plastic pollution before it enters into the ocean? Introduce a container deposit system. So people should not litter the plastic waste. It should be collected by the municipality and it should be treated properly. Ban all single-use plastic bags. Remove the micro beads from personal care products and laundry products. Ensure plastic producers and recyclers capture microplastic on their premises. So industry should not bring any microplastic in their effluent, and it should not be discarded in the marine environment. Yeah. So again, we are going to discuss in detail about the impact of plastic on the marine environment. If you see the mechanical impact, at least 267 marine species worldwide suffer from entanglement and ingestion, and it may ends up in death only. So entanglement, if you see, the it can cause death also by drowning. If some turtle or some fishes may enter into the plastic bags or any plastic container, it will drown along with the plastic. It may get suffocation, it may strangulation, or it may starve, and it will finally die. Starving means it's hungry. It may, like, it will serve for food and it will die at the end. Yeah, it will drown. So if ingestion is another problem. So if the mistakenly the aquatic animals will take the plastic as a food, and it will accidentally intaken by the, so like unlike humans, uh, animals or any this type of aquatic organism can't differentiate what is plastic, what is their food. So they will accidentally intake this kind of plastic particle as a food mistakenly, and it will again trapped inside their stomach, throat and digestive tract, and finally death due to starvation. So this is the final end of the aquatic organisms. Yeah. So these are all some of the statistics we are going to see. 54% of all the whales, dolphins and seals are impacted by plastic. 1 lakh marine mammals are killed by plastic every year. This is biggest thread again. Each year we can see 1 lakh marine mammals are killed by plastics. Yeah. Out of which sperm whales are the majority, what we call, they are the suspects for this deaths. You can see here, California, if you see in 2008, 200 kg of fishing gear, yeah, 200 kg of fishing gear and plastic bags in its stomach, like in a sperm whale. In turtle, if you see, all the 7 species of endangered sea turtle are already kept in endangered species list. So again, we are diverting this plastic waste into the ocean. If it happens again, all the 7 species of endangered sea turtle ingest or tangled by plastic. More than 50% of the sea turtle eat plastic already. 50 to 80% of all dead sea turtle found have plastic inside them. So if you open their stomach and if you see, if you take 100 turtles and 80 turtles will have plastic in their stomach. The 2 ocean aquariums, green sea turtle is one of the few sea turtle luckily enough to survive eating plastic. Yes, yes. So more of the rescue team NGOs are working in rescuing this type of entangled species from plastics. If you see fishes, 114 species of marine fishes are known to regularly be entangled in ingested plastics. If you see birds, another statistic you see, a million fishes are killed this way every year. Yeah. You see birds, 2/3 of all seabirds, because seabirds will think the floating plastic as fishes and it will eat. So that's what two-thirds of all seabird species are affected, representing 56% of all seabirds. Millions of birds are killed every year. These are all statistics again. 98% of albatross have ingested plastic and 40% of the chicks died when they are fed this by their parents. Another suspect is corals. Corals are like observed starving as their digestive system have been blocked by microplastics. Microplastic again enters into the settle at the sea bed, and there it may block the digestive system pores of the coral reefs, or it may block the photosynthetic enzymes or the photosynthetic zooxanthellae at the coral reef body, and it will be killed by shaded by being killed by the plastics. Then if you see land mammals, half of all camels that die on the Arabian Peninsula each year are killed by ingested plastic bags. If you see elephants, Indian elephants were killed by eating plastic shopping bags in India in 2018. We have a case. Some reindeer in Norway were killed and abandoned fishing nets. 8 African elephants died due to plastic bread bags. Yeah. So unlike humans, wild animals don't have the ability to discern plastic from the digestible material. So its body was not adapted to the plastic digestion. So plastic is inert and non-digestible material. So it will be stored in the stomach or it will end up in their body. And again, it will be continuing in generation also. Filtering, feeding animals, plastic can release chemicals that. This is one important point. Plastic can release chemicals that smell like food. So it will trigger the species such as anchovies to find it. And if you see the plastic carry bags will look like jellyfish in water. So jellyfish eating species such as ocean sunfish, sea turtle mistake plastic bags and balloon ribbons for jellyfish. So it will eat the ocean sunfish and all. It will eat the plastic bag, thinking that as a jellyfish. Yeah, grazing and scavenging animals such as cow, dogs, camels regularly eat plastic and contaminated with the human food. So we will discard some food along with the plastic cover. So the spraying animals will, cattle and all will eat plastic along with the food. Yeah. So plastic microbeads resemble fish egg. This type of microbeads or microplastic resembles fish egg, and the jellyfish will eat this. And seabirds that skim the ocean surface while flying, they think floating plastic as a food. Then some animals, for some mammals, ocean mammals that is using sonar for their transport or for their movement, they will confuse plastic for squid and jellyfish. So this type of things are, these are the impacts of plastics. So hunting seabirds mistakenly small pieces of suspended plastics like cigarette litters and all, it will be eaten by hunting seabirds. Red, pink and brown pieces of plastic debris are mistaken by shrimps. Yeah. Again, dogs and these things are like cattle and all, like stray dogs and all will eat this plastic bags. Jagged plastic stuck into their stomach suffocate or prevent them from regulating to the feed their sticks. So we can say floating plastic debris is spreading invasion alien species around the world. So coral reefs that are littered with the plastic are 20 times more likely for the disease. 1 second. மெயில் பாத்துக்கிறீங்களா? Yeah. Sorry. So fish larvae are 4 times more likely to eat microplastic than actual food. So fishes are also fine, but fish larvae will eat this type of microplastics mistakenly. So they are 4 times more likely to eat. So these are all some of the pictures you can see. Entangled mammals by the plastic net. This is the wire. How it got stuck into this plastic thread and net got stuck into the whale. If you see this plastic bag floating in the ocean looks like a jellyfish. So some of the animals will think this is a food and it will eat. Seabirds fall into olfactory traps and some fish mistaken plastic for krill. Sea turtle confuse back for jellyfish. These are all the impacts. You can see here sea lion that may be entangled by plastic net. So these are all some of the videos You can see how the sea birds are entangled by plastic species. You can also go through some of the videos of you can go through the lecture videos itself, or have played these videos. So here seabirds how it was got entangled into the plastic bags. These are all some of the eye openers. Like, yeah, you can see a sea turtle near a plastic bottle. One sea turtle out of two has ingested plastic. So you can see half of the sea turtle are ingested with the plastic nowadays. Yeah. So if you see a fish got ingested with some of the plastic and the plankton, both look similar. So if it may mistaken plastic for plankton and it will eat. So that may be lost in its digestive system. Yeah, this is called a microplastic alert in the Pluggers Sanctuary. So they have announced the microplastic alert. Yeah, here you can see again a seabird entangled by plastic bag. 90% of the seabird have fragments of plastic in their stomach. Today, by 2050, this number may rise to 99%. So you can see all the seabirds will have microplastic in their stomach. So here you can see a picture of starfish on a calculator, plastic calculator. Yeah. So again, another point of view, if you think it will affect the global economy also. How like global economic cost of plastic pollution is like $13 billion US dollars per year for the damages caused by the plastic to the marine ecosystem. So that much damage we are causing. Like if you convert the damage into a monetary term, you will get around 13 billion US dollar per year. That much damage we are still causing to the marine ecosystem. Not we, the plastic is causing. There's the financial loss in fisheries and tourism. So if 344 species trapped globally, out of which 27% of fishes, 20% of invertebrates, 13% marine mammals, and 35% birds that are all trapped into this type of plastic nets. Yeah, fishing line costs 65% of entrapped in the Mediterranean. So this is another one eye-opening picture. A sea turtle's stomach contains this much amount of plastics in the Pacific Ocean, according to the Ocean Cleanup Foundation. Ocean Cleanup is a foundation that is working on the cleaning up of this plastic waste in the ocean. You can go through the website of Ocean Cleanup, and this picture is an eye-opener again. How much debris, plastic debris in the stomach of a sea turtle. So think about how much will be in whole mammals, whole aquatic organisms. Yeah. So a dolphin with a plastic trailing from its fin swimming in the Fernando, Brazil. Again, a blue strip of plastic strip in a fish and a cotton swab. Cotton swab with plastics. So nowadays it was replaced with wooden pieces and papers. Nowadays it's banned single-use plastic. So a she horse wrapped its tail with a plastic carbon swab. Yeah. Yeah, here if you see plasticized animal species, how much ingestion happened for different species, you can see like the numbers indicate the total samples. If you see one marine duck, it like how much ingested. If you see 77% got ingested, and 60% of the divers got ingested this plastic into their body. If you see here more values for yeah, toothed whales, 61 percentage, 61.5 percentage of the species, this toothed whale species have plastic ingested into their body. Again, if you see in entangled, that is ingested, how much species got entangled? Entangled is like surrounds its body or making it into a trap. So if 100% of the polar bears, 100% of the turtles, 100% of the earned seals, and most of these values are like greater than 50%, like 60% of divers have entangled by plastic. So if you see, if you take 100 number of turtles, all are like entangled by some of the plastic debris in the ocean. Yeah, this is again a good representation. Like in today is this 80% is from the land source and 20% from the marine source. This is by WWF report of 2018. Like if you see the small dots are microplastics and the big green one are macroplastics. So here you can see in 2050 mostly microplastic will be there, and another one report says in 2050 the number of plastic in the oceans will exceed the number of fishes in the ocean. So you can see how much plastic will be there. Now it will be 1 ton plastic for every 3 tons of fishes, but in 2050 it will be more than how much fishes in the ocean. That's the scenario. If it continues, it will go like that. It's a global emergency. Yeah. So there are some of the land animals having impacted by the plastics. Yeah. So this is another one report from Kerala. Like Sabarimala devotees kill wild elephant in Kerala forest. Plastic waste from the Sabarimala devotees kill wild elephant in Kerala forest. How how they got to know this? Like 40 years old female elephant was found dead. 2 kg of plastic waste in its bowel. Like they have dissected the body and they have found 2 kg of plastic in the holy Sabarimala in Pathanamthitta district, and they had checked the plastic waste. It was like leftover of 2 months old pilgrimage of Sabarimala, and according to the veterinarians, the animal died of constipation and industrial blockage. Yeah, that's the reason. So the plastic waste has been found in the dunk of wild. So initially it was not that. This is the first case in Sabarimala, but older days we can able to see some of the plastic particles in the dunk of the wild animals. So we can surely say that was the plastic particles were ingested into the body of this wild animals. Yeah. Again, if you see a cow in India die from consuming plastic waste, not only everywhere you can see 36 stray cows. One died and they discovered the cow ate too much plastic. And surgical procedures are now happening for stray cows to remove the plastic in their stomach or rectums. These are all due to littered garbage in the open area. Along with the food particle, it may go for food and it will ingest the plastic into its body. And due to this, the production of milk got reduced and the quality of milk also will get reduced. And slowly, we can say this is a slow and cruel death to the sentenced cattle. This is another video. You can go through the lectures and you can see this video. There is a surgical procedure for a cow to remove the plastic waste ingested into its body. How much quantity you can measure from a single cow? You can see this video. Yeah. So this is all to the ecosystem and to the environment and the marine ecosystem. What are the effect of this plastic to the humans? That's what the major aim finally. Like many adverse effect on human health due to the presence of additives used in the manufacture of plastic. Not only due to plastics, because some reports are there plastics are inerts and it won't cause any health impact to the human if it got ingested into the body. But the additives used in the manufacturing of plastics will cause some adverse effect to the human health. So that's what we are going to look here. Like some of the important plastic additives are bisphenol A, phthalates, flame retarders. So usually different purposes are there for this type of additives. Like I am using laptop for my lecture now. So it is made up of plastic keyboard and plastic body. If I am using charger, so it may finally after 1 hour of charging, the laptop may get heated and it may catch fire also. So to retard this fire, flame retarders are used in all type of electronic gadgets. In the manufacturing of electronic gadgets while using plastic, this flame retarders are added as additives to retard the flames. So it's need of the hour. So final, but the impacts on of this additives to the human health is huge. That's what we are going to see. The additives are their ill effect. Bisphenol A acts as an endocrine disruptors in humans. Endocrine, that is a hormone secreting gland that will disrupt in human and cause thyroid cancer, osteoporosis, hypo and hypertension. Yeah. So phthalate or plasticizers will affect the reproductive system, malformation and development disorders, and it will affect the pulmonary system, affect including asthma, allergies. Then flame retarders will affect the impact the immune system and fatal and child development, cancer, neurological dysfunction. These are all the ill effects. You can see this type of effects will leads to death also. That's all fatal effects. Yeah, bisphenol is found in containers, water bottles. As we discussed in the last lecture, this type of water bottle will have bisphenols. Now we can say, now we can see marketing for this plastic bottles. If you see BPA free, BPA is bisphenol A. BPA free water bottles, BPA free food storage containers, BPA free refrigerant containers. Like that, you can see many advertisements. You can see, so that type of things we can buy nowadays to reduce the ill effects. So some of the ill effects like diabetes, obesity, irritation of dermatitis, irritation of the mucous membrane of the eyes, autism, and liver disease. And if you see phthalate, phthalate is a plasticizer that is used in this. This is what the duck I have mentioned about. This toys. Most of these are child products, and this type of toys making plastic bags, most of this what we call chewers will have phthalates. It will have a risk on miscarriage. Level of phthalates will increase. It will be exponentially increasing with the ill effects. Like flame retardants will be used in all type of electronics, easy chairs, carpets, and kitchen appliances. And it will again having ill effects such as it will cross the placenta. Babies are born with the flame retardants in their body itself. So it will affect the placenta itself. So whatever the baby born will have flame retardant in its body, and it will accumulate in the breast milk also. And young children may easily get into this phthalates because it will settle at the floors, and the babies will inject into its body. Yeah, these are all graphs showing concentration of polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, we can say polychlorinated biphenyls in India. So if you see this graph and compare with the next graph, that is the DDT. DDT is an insecticide banned already all over the world. Mostly in India, it's banned. It's insecticide used in agriculture. So if you see both having same ill effect, not only same, it's having more ill effects, but it's banned. It's still in operation. The concentration of the BCPs. Again, for a concentration of polyaromatic hydrocarbon, that is PAH. If you see here, this is a consolidated table for different toxic components or additives used in the manufacturing of different types of plastic listed. If you see bisphenol A, BPA, that is a plasticizer or a liner that will have an ill effect such as mimicking the estrogen. BPA will mimic the estrogen, that is a sexual hormone for the females, that will mimic the same hormone by bisphenol A, that is used in PVCs and PCs. Then phthalates. Phthalates is a plasticizer or artificial fragner. Used nowadays, plastics are coming with the artificial fragrance also. There we have to use phthalates. So this will interfere with the testosterone, again male hormone. So that will affect the sperm mobility, and this is found in PS and PVC type of plastics. Then persistent organic pollutant, that is POPs, that is used in the pesticides and flame retardants, and possibly it will affect the reproductive damage and neurological diseases. All plastic will have this type of things, and whenever any plastic is burnt in open environment, it will release a toxic substance called dioxin. So dioxin will be produced in manufacturing of PVC. It will also it will be produced in the waste incineration. While producing manufacturing plastic also, we will heat. At time also dioxin will be released, and while incineration also dioxin will be released. This is a carcinogen. It will interfere with the testosterone. Yeah. And another one is nonylphenol. Nonylphenol is a antistatic, anti-fog surfactant. That will mimic estrogen. That will be found in PVC. And polyaromatic hydrocarbons. Everything is affecting the hormonal damages. And then producing when fossil fuels are burned. This type of PAH will be produced. Development and reproductive toxicity. All plastics will be found, and PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, will be found in electronic manufacturing, and it will interfere with the thyroid hormone. Yeah, and the styrene monomer, it will be the breakdown product, and it will affect, it will be a carcinogen and form DNA adducts that will be found in polystyrene PS. Yeah. So you have different impacts of plastic waste on human body: irritation to eyes, breathing, liver dysfunction, skin disease, rashes, birth effects, diarrhea, lung problem, thyroid, headache. Everything will be due to this type of additives in the plastics. Yeah. So here you can see how the transfer of contaminants from plastic to organisms. So we have two mechanisms. One is so one is ingestion directly into the body, that is like bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation is like whatever the plastic outside, not only plastic, whatever the toxic contaminants outside that may be accumulated into the body, and during a period of time, if I am taking the same contaminated, if I take water contaminated with the microplastic for a day, the same I am continuing for 1 year. So for a whole period of time, it will accumulate in my body. That's called bioaccumulation. And the same, if it is transferred from one food chain to other, like small fishes will drink this type of water contaminated with microplastic, and the bigger whales and all will eat the small fishes, and it will be accumulated in its body, and the humans will eat the fish, again it will be transferred to the humans. Like this, if it continues in the food chain, then it is called biomagnification. So if it is transferred in the food web, that is called biomagnification. The toxic, if it is accumulated in its own body during the different period of time, that is called bioaccumulation. That we are going to see in the next slide with the pictures. So most marine organisms obtain contaminants from plastic by ingestion. That's mostly from microplastics, and thinking them as a plankton species. So they will be leached into the digestive fluid and will be transferred to other tissues. Yeah, if you see, so microplastic will be eaten by small planktons. This plankton will be eaten by fishes, and this fish by big fish. This is called a biomagnification process. And if the same is accumulated in its own body for a whole period of time, then it is called a bioaccumulation. So boat and turtle feed at the surface of the patches. This is all, they're all like entering of toxic microplastic in the food chain. This is another one report, like 1/4 of fish sampled. Yeah, 1/4 of fish sampled from fish market in California and Indonesia contain plastic pieces and fibers in their gut. So 1/4 of the fish. Then you can imagine the whole ocean is contaminated with the plastic waste, and the whole aquatic organisms are contaminated with microplastics. So again, a study finds microplastic in 93% of bottled water. That's what we are discussing in the last week also. If you think the water may be impure and you are going with some mineral water cans in the nearby shops, and if you see if it is in Aquafina, if you take like 2 to 1200 particles of microplastic per liter of, like plastic particle found per liter of bottled water. So that much microplastic will ingested into the body of the user. So if you see, these are the different brand and different country tested. So if they test different 325 average number of plastic particles for every liter of water sold. This is the average they are come up with. Like this number is another a big indicator of how much microplastic we are ingesting daily, day to day. So if you drink 2 bottles of water a day, then you will be having 650 particles of microplastic in your body. If you take in a 1 year period of time, how much will be accumulated in your body? That is called bioaccumulation. So how much impact it will cause? Not only in the next day, it will due to the long duration of time, it will be having some ill effect. Yeah. So uncontrolled plastic burning in open land will cause, as I mentioned, some of the PVC burning or plastic burning will release dioxins. So increasing risk of heart disease, aggravates respiratory ailments like asthma, causes skin rashes, damage the nervous system, damage the kidney and liver, disrupt the reproductive system. In particular, burning polystyrene and styrofoam cups, which disrupt the central nervous system. Yeah. So that's what I mentioned, dioxin emission. So from the PVC burning contains organochloride base. That's called a carcinogen. So it's an organo based substance. It's a highly toxic chemical, carcinogen, hormone disruptor, persistent, and accumulate in your body fat. So whatever accumulated in your body fat, that is like will persist in the body itself, and it won't be soluble in water. It is soluble in fat, so it's accumulated in your body. So dioxins also settle on crops and in your waterways, where they eventually wind up in our food. Wind up in our food. accumulate in our bodies and passed on to our children. So this is the chemical impact and the ecotoxicology. So the hydrophobic surface of the plastic. So plastic, as I mentioned, it's not a hydrophilic material. It's a hydrophobic material that will repel water. That's not having affinity to water, but it is having affinity for various hydrophobic contaminants. So whatever having hydrophilic substance will have affinity towards water. This type of plastic having hydrophobic surface will have affinity towards various other hydrophobic contaminants. So this type of contaminants will stick to the plastic and it will again enter into the body along with the microplastics. That's what the mechanism says. The mechanism receives greater attention for micro debris and microplastic because they are easily ingested by organisms and enter into the and constitute a pathway for chemicals to enter an organism. So the plastic debris in the marine environment can contain two type of possible toxic contaminants. One is by additive, another one is through hydrophobic chemicals. This is again this plastic waste discarded in the water bodies will be the breeding place for mosquito. Most of the dengue, malaria type of causing mosquito will breed in this plastic waste litter into the surface water bodies. So this is one of the report in Tamil Nadu. The Tamil Nadu Health Secretary, last Health Secretary actually, he is Dr. J. Radhakrishnan said like we have to get rid of this type of plastic accumulated in the water bodies. Like some of the malarial or dengue causing mosquito will breed in the blue drums, syntax tanks in the houses, plastic bags on empty land, and also the stagnated water on the terrace. So we have a huge campaign to get rid of this type of abandoned plastic items and tires in the open land. So stagnant water behind the fridges and the AC also, and the tires are also making the mosquitoes to breed. Yeah. So these are again a picture showing plastic waste clog drains, and another important thing is it may clog the drains and the canals. Whatever the sewers that will carry the wastewater to the treatment plant, that may be clogged, and the canals that may be carrying water to the agricultural field, that may be also clogged by plastic waste. Again, a plastic choke, Dhaka's drainage. Dhaka is a capital of Bangladesh. So they have announced a plastic choke. So that will reduce that reduce the tourism of the same place by about 50%. That's what the report says. Another one is economic effect. That's what we have discussed the last slide. Loss of tourism days, damage to the local tourism infrastructure. So you can see how much money loss for a country due to the discard of this type of plastic waste. Damage to the tourism dependent activities, damage to fishery activities, damage to fisheries dependent activity, damage to the image of the coast as a recreational resource at both national and international level. So again, Bali is an Indonesian island, so it declares rubbish emergency as a rising tide of plastic buries beaches. So it mentioned like rising tide of plastic waste in the beaches. So 3.6 mile stretch of beach of this island was declared as an emergency zone. Yeah. Again, if you see the history of plastic, 1.5 million tons were produced, not the plastic waste. I'm talking about the plastic. In 1950, only 1.5 million tons were produced. But if you see 2015, it got drastically increased exponentially to 300 billion tons production. Then in 2050, if you see 33 billion tons. Because of the industrialization and the wide application of plastic, the production got increased. But the same will reflect in the plastic waste statistics also. If you see in 2010, 32 billion tons of mismanaged plastic. But if you see the same will be 100 to 250 billion tons of mismanaged plastic per year. So cost of marine litter will be around $8 billion US dollars. Cost us approximately marine litter will cost. This is in the form of cost of fisheries, aquaculture, marine tourism, and cleanups. So it is causing a loss to the annual tourism and 81.7 billion dollars European Union fishing fleet's annual losses. So there are loss reported. So finally, the conclusion, substantial quantity of plastic have been accumulated in the natural environment. If ingested, it may be toxic substance to the food chain, and a chemical associated with the plastic potentially harmful the wildlife as well as the human health. So phthalates and BPA affect reproduction in all animal group and in impact development in crocodiles and amphibians. This is the conclusion we can say. So we have a greater ill effect due to the mismanaged plastic waste to the wildlife, to the aquatic organism, and also to the humans. So that's what we have discussed in this big 5 lecture. If you have any doubt, please post in the chat box, or you can unmute and you can ask. If no doubts, we will discuss the uh, last year assignments, older assignments. Yeah. So if no more doubts, can I move on to the assignments? Yeah. You can answer the question in the chat box. Please post the answers in the chat box. I'll read the question. So this first one is, the release of plastic into the environment is a result of inappropriate solid waste management, improper human behavior, incidental pollution, all the above. Yes. Yes. So the release of Yeah, the release of plastic into the environment is the result of everything. Inappropriate solid waste management, improper human behavior, incidental pollution. That's what the first slide we have discussed. It's all the above. Here you can see the origin of plastic. May be due to inappropriate waste management, improper human behavior, or incidental pollution. Incidental pollution may be due to industries, improper human behavior is human littering, and inappropriate waste management by the municipalities. Yeah, all the three are stakeholders for the marine pollution. If you see the second question, what is the percentage of microplastic in the Greater Pacific Garbage Patch according to the measure of things IUCN report? Percentage of microplastics. I think we have discussed it one on the slide. How much is the microplastic and how much is the normal? Yes, 94. Yes. Here you can see Greater Pacific Garbage Patch floats on. Microplastic accounts 94% of the plastic in the Greater Pacific Patch. Other six are macroplastics. So these are the distribution of ocean microplastics. Yeah. Which of the following mechanism is depicted in the figure below? So bioaccumulation or biomagnification or eutrophication, bioremediation. Yeah. From one organism to it's going to other, and it may end up in the higher level of the food web or the food chain. So it's called biomagnification. Yeah. Biomagnification is correct. Actually, it was mentioned as bioaccumulation. That is wrong. I'll change. Yes. So it's biomagnification. Yeah. So this is a statement and reasoning question. Open dumping of plastic waste impact human health. Then another statement. Plastic contain organochlorine compounds and on burning releases harmless gases. Open dumping impact human health. Plastic contain organochloride compound on burning releases harmless gases. Statement 1 and 2 are individually true. Statement 2 is a not explanation of 1. Both are individually true, but statement 1 is not the correct explanation. Sorry, first one is correct explanation, second is not. Statement 1 is true, 2 is false. Statement 1 is false, 2 is false. 2 is true. Yeah, actually the first statement is true. Open dumping impacts human health. That's correct. But plastic containing organochlorides, that is correct. But on burning releases harmful gases, not harmless. That is again a tricky question. Statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 is false. Yes. Which of the following plastic type contains a toxic compound nonyl phenol? We have discussed all the additives and the type of plastic that may contain these additives. So nonyl phenol will be in PET, PP, PVC, PS. It's in PVC. Yeah, yeah, it's correct. PVC. So you can see some are present in all the type of plastics and nonyl phenol, phthalates, BPA, bisphenol A are present in PVC. Styrene monomer is present in polystyrene and phthalates are present in PS also. Bisphenol A both PVC and PC. That's a chlorine compound, organochloride compounds. Yeah. So the answer is PVC for nonyl phenol. Okay. Sixth question. Which is the highest contributing source of ocean microplastics worldwide? As per City Research World Atlas 2018, which is contributing highest to the microplastic? Road making, synthetic textiles, personal care products, plastic pellets. Yes. This we have discussed in the pie chart. Yes. So synthetic textiles. So this is the distribution of ocean microplastic. So 35% from synthetic textiles only, 28% from car tires, 24% from city dust, 7 from road making, 3.7 from marine coatings, and 2 from personal care products, and 0.3 from plastic pellets. That is from the industrial manufacturing. Yeah. The seventh question: which of the following toxic compound mimic estrogen? Phthalates, dioxin, polystyrene, nylon phenol. Mimic estrogen. It's a nylon phenol actually. Yeah, here you can see. Uh, Sorry, that's nonyl phenol. I have to change. Nonyl phenol. That will mimic the estrogen, and bisphenol A also will mimic the estrogen. Most are actually this endocrine disrupting compounds only. Everything. Most are affecting the hormones, reproductive system, testosterone, estrogen mimic testosterone interference, and reproductive damage. Here also testosterone interference and sperm motility interference. Like everything is like endocrine disruptor compounds. These are all additives. So which will mimic endocrine like nonyl phenol and bisphenol A. Yeah. What are the different intake and transformation process of micro or nanoplastic in the marine environment? Different intake and transformation process. Ingestion, entanglement, biomagnification, all the above. Intake is like ingestion. Transformation is intake. Intake again biomagnification is a transformation. Entanglement it's intake into the body surface of body surface. So all the above. Yes. So impact of plastics like entanglement. Here you can see ingesting plastic accumulation, bioaccumulation. Everything is a like transport mechanism. Ninth question is consumption of waste plastic mistakenly as food by fish and other wildlife, which lead to their death, is caused due to consumption of waste plastic mistakenly as food will cause entanglement, starvation, digestion, none of the above. So if it is ingested into its body, it will the animal or the mammal or any aquatic organism will feel full. Always it will be full. It won't get any hunger. So again it will die by starvation. Yeah, that's the answer. Starvation. So the plastic ingested primarily occurs when it is mistakenly for food, but also occur by incidental intake. In most cases, the fragment becomes trapped inside the stomach, throat, or digestion tract and cause damage or a false sense of fullness, which will result in starvation. Yeah. Then plastic debris in the marine environment contains which type of possible toxic contaminants? Additives, hydrophobic chemicals that become absorbed from the surrounding water, both A and B, neither A nor B. These are all like possible toxic contaminants due to plastic debris in the marine environment. So it have additives and it is a hydrophobic material that will absorb hydrophobic chemicals from the surrounding water. That's what we have here. So both are the chemical. These are all the chemical impact and ecotoxicology. Is this a true or false question? Chemicals associated with the plastic are potentially harmful to wildlife. True or false? Chemicals associated with the plastic are potentially harmful to wildlife. Yeah, it's a general true question. So substantial quantities of plastic have accumulated into the natural environment. If ingested, it has the potential to transfer toxins to the food chain. Chemical associated with the plastic causes harmful to not only to wildlife, the ecosystem, and to the human beings. Phthalates and BPA affect reproduction in all animal groups and impair development in crustaceans and amphibians. Then another true or false question. Dioxin emission from plastic burning settle on crops and in our waterways, where they will eventually wind up in our food, accumulate in our body, and are passed to our children. It's, dioxin will be released due to it's an emission from plastic burning. That's correct. It will settle up in crops and waterways. That is again correct. And wind up in food chain, accumulate in our body, and pass it to our children. That is also correct. So these are ill effects of burning of open burning of plastics. But if you burn the plastic in an incineration plant at a controlled temperature, controlled environment, controlled oxygen supply, then you can trap the emission and you can treat the effluent gas, and the treated effluent will be released into the environment that won't contain any dioxin, and a proper monitoring system should be there to monitor how much dioxin is emitted into the environment, because we are having different ill effect due to this type of uh, emissions from the plastic burning. So it's true. Another question, what are the reasons for which fishing gear can become marine litter? Abandoning fishing gear, lost fishing gear, using fishing gear for fishing. So, multi-choice question. So, multi-choice question, think about it. Abandoned fishing gear may become a marine litter, lost fishing gear may become a marine litter, or while using the fishing gear for fishing itself a marine litter. Yeah, option A and B are correct. That's correct. Yes, multi-choice question A and B. Some other options like fishing gear is discarded or abandoned, fishing gear is lost, containers are also lost. That may be adding to the marine litters. Which of the following are the plastic additives? Styrene, phthalates, polychlorinated biphenyls, that is PCBs, ethylene. We are not asking about the monomers. We are asking about plastic additives. Which of the following are multi-choice question? So the answer is yeah, mixed answers B, C. So both. Yeah, not A. A is styrene. So styrene is a monomer. That's why polystyrene. Ethylene is also a monomer. So after polymerization, it will become polyethylene. That is PE. These are all monomers. But as an additive to impart strength or to increase its flame retardant capacity or to uh, increase some fragrance in the product, we are adding some of the external additives. That's called external matter that is called the additives. There are phthalates, polychlorinated biphenyls. Some of the examples. So this are, they may ask this also. Three most commonly cited plastic additives are bisphenol A, phthalates, and flame retardants. Yeah. Moving on to the 15th question. Which of the following statement is true about plastic in the marine environment? Plastic can accumulate in animal stomach, making them feel full, stopping from eating and resulting in starvation. What are the ill effects? Some of the plastic marine debris get washed ashore to beach. Then coral reefs are not affected by plastic pollution. Then fish larvae are less likely to eat microplastic than actual food. So which of the statement is true or are true? So what about D? A and B, yeah? What about D? A and B. A is correct, correct. Fine. B, some of the plastic marine debris get washed ashore on beach. That's correct. Okay. D is like less likely. Fine, fine, fine. Okay. So A and B are correct. Fish larvae are less likely to eat microplastic. It's not correct. So here you can see making them full, stopping them from eating and resulting in starvation. So entangled marine mammals may unable to move to the surface. This is another problem. If something got stuck into the plastic bags or some weighted plastic particle, that will sink to the bottom. So it cannot come up to the surface to breathe. So again it will be exhausted and drag and drown. So it will drown into the ocean. Entangled boats may drown or unable to find food and water and thus slowly starve. Again, incision caused by the plastic noses can cause infection that eventually lead to death of this type of aquatic organisms. This is coral reef. So impact on coral reef that will littered plastic may like plastics are 20 times more likely to diseased. Fish larvae are also 4 times more likely to eat microplastic than actual food. This is another 2021's old assignment. Some may be repeating questions. The release of plastic into the environment is a result of inappropriate waste management, improper human behavior, incidental pollution, all the above. We have seen, I guess, already. Yes. Some may be repeating. Sorry for that. What is the percentage of microplastic in the Greater Carbase Pacific patch? We have discussed, I guess. 94. That's correct. What is the largest of 5 offshore plastic accumulation zone in world's ocean? Indian Ocean Gyre, Greater Pacific Garbage Patch, North Atlantic Gyre, Arctic Gyre. Plastic accumulation zone in the ocean. Largest of 5 offshore plastic accumulation zone in the world's ocean. So the largest one is like Greater Pacific Garbage Patch. So the gyre is a place where this type of concentration of plastic will increase or it will be accumulated due to low current. Other places will have a high current and it will transport the plastic waste discarded into the marine environment. So the answer is plastic. Greater Pacific Garbage Patch. Yeah. Fourth question. What is or are the reason for which plastic gear can become marine litter? Fishing gear is abundant, fishing gear is discarded, fishing gear is lost, all the above. Yeah, it's also we had seen. The answer is B. So question 5. Nonylphenol is a toxic compound in which type of plastic? And this we have seen. Yeah, PVC. So which source is the highest contributor of ocean microplastic worldwide as of specific research? Yeah, this is also synthetic textile. Yes, yes. Then again, which type of plastic can form DNA adducts? Polystyrene, PVC, PS, all plastics. DNA adducts. It's not all plastic. Yeah, it's poly. Oh, sorry, it's again confusing. Both are PS. PS also polystyrene and yeah, ARC. Sorry. Here you can see styrene monomer. That is an that will be the carcinogen can form DNA adduct. That's a polystyrene. Yes. Though which of the following processes plastic waste has an effect on marine life? Ingestion, entanglement, biomagnification, and all the above. Yeah. Okay. Again, consumption of waste plastic mistakenly as food by fish and other wildlife, which leads to their death in terms of entanglement, ingestion, digestion, and all the above. So if it's taken into its body, it's not deep. Mistakenly as food, if it is consumed, then it will lead to death in terms of ingestion. Yeah, answer is B. The food is taken means it is ingestion. If it is enters into the body through water or through food or through nose, if it is through nose, it's called inhalation. Through mouth, it is called ingestion. Through skin, it's called dermal accumulation. So we have three not transport mechanism. It's like a possibility of contaminants to the human body. So we have three pathways. One is inhalation through nose, ingestion through mouth, and through dermal, that is the through skin. But here, if you see about the fishes, it may take consume the microplastic from the water mistakenly. That is called ingestion. Consume means through mouth, so it's called ingestion. Ingested into the body. Then, plastic debris in the marine environment contains which type of possible toxic contaminants? Additives, hydrophobic chemicals that become absorbed from the surrounding water, both A and B, neither. Yeah. Okay. So you have to note down plastic is a hydrophobic material that is not having affinity towards hydrophilic material, only having affinity towards other hydrophobic chemicals in the water. So that will be again absorbed on the surface of the plastic. It will again ingested along with the microplastic to the aquatic organisms body. 11th question. Chemicals associated with the plastic are not potentially harmful to wildlife. True or false? Chemical associated with plastic are not potentially harmful to wildlife. It's false. Dioxin emission from plastic burning settles on crops and in other our waterways where eventually wind up in our food accumulates in our body. Yeah, this is again possible to our children. True or false is true. So according to WWF report 2018, more than 1% of total plastic floats on the surface. True or false? It's not 6%. You can see the result. Less than 1%. Yeah. So less than 1% of the total plastic floats on the surface. Other 99% will be in suspension on the ocean or it may sink to the ocean bed or the ocean floor. Again, there is some transport mechanism. It may resuspend into the water and it will sink and it will be beaching into the beaches or it will again recapture into the ocean. It will be ingested into the body of the aquatic organism or it will be excreted from the body into the ocean again. So these are all transport mechanism for microplastic or plastics. Some algae may grow in the body. That is called biofouling. Some current ways will take out this, transport this plastic. Some birds may eat marine wildlife, including fish and birds, ingest plastic. This is by WWF report 2018. The 14th question. Bisphenol A is commonly cited plastic additive. So we have three commonly cited plastic additive. One is phthalate, another one is PCB, another one is bisphenol A. Yeah, it's true. Bisphenol A, phthalates, and flame retardants, PCBs. Plastic can accumulate in animal stomach, making them feel full, stopping them from eating and resulting in starvation. That's again. Yeah. So we have come to the end of the session. If you have any doubt, you please post in the chat box, or you can unmute and you can ask. So tomorrow is the deadline for assignment submission for week 5. So you can also discuss in the use the discussion forum for any of the questions. Yeah. If nothing to ask, you can leave the meet. Yeah. Thank you so much. If you ask any questions in the discussion forum, I'm happy to answer in that also. I can also use the chat box to post some of the questions. Thank you so much.
Uh, Excuse me. These discussions actually only YouTube videos are uploaded, but the PPT is not uploaded.
No, ma'am. In the folder, you have the Excel sheet, right? I'll show.
Yes.
I'll show. Why? I'll show. So the problem solving session recordings. If you go the same Excel sheet. So here the presentation folder link is there, now, ma'am. YouTube link is there. Presentation folder link. So if you go to the folder, so I have uploaded everything in this folder. So week 1 to 4 material. Today I will upload the 5th week material, and some of the this is actually assignments what we have discussed. Here again the lecture material what I am using here I have uploaded, and the reading material some PPTs sorry PDF files I have uploaded here. Now some reports. I hope the folder is you can enable, you can access the folder, I guess. Please try to do once. If not, please contact the NPTEL team. I have uploaded here.
And regarding last week assignment,
Yeah.
you just see question number 12.
Question number 12. I think some query regarding question number 12. Yeah, Ahmedabad airport is one of the plastic free airport declared by. Yes, that's correct only, na, ma'am.
Yes, that means in the solution, yes, in the heading, Srinagar airport is written, and at the bottom, whatever airports are written, all those airports are plastic free.
In the PPT you are asking.
Yes, in the PPT.
Yeah, 1 second, I will
And,
open that.
and that screenshot is also given in the solution.
Yeah, I'll okay. Yeah, Srinagar among 20 declared plastic. So other airport include Kolkata. Here it's there, na, ma'am. Ahmedabad.
Okay, okay. So other airport include means all these airports are declared plastic free by AAI.
Yeah, in 2019.
Okay, okay.
Srinagar is one of the 20 among airports.
Okay.
So tomorrow is the deadline for week 5 assignment. Please go through the assignments. Yeah. Thank you so much. So if you have any doubt, I'm happy to answer. I'll be here. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sir, please open again that Swayam assignment 4.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
uh, about first question,
Yes.
sir, Australia is the largest producer of solid waste in the world. It is also right now, sir. I chosen B and C, but it is wrong. Only C is right.
Yeah, here
They show.
actually 1 and 2 are correct, but no option is like that. B and C.
Okay, sir. Okay.
But no, sir. It's like a confusion question again. Australia is the largest producer of solid waste. According to Clean Up India,
Second
Australia
one,
used 5 billion estimated plastic waste. That's also correct. And but if you choose B and C, that's wrong, sir. Only one you are chosen, or only two you have chosen. Any one it's correct, I guess. Then we have raised the query to the NPTEL team. I guess they will respond to this.
okay, sir.
They
Okay.
may change at the end. Before actually assigning the final grade, they will check for the challenges, the answers.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So here actually
Thank you, sir.
one also correct, two also correct. So if you click only one, only two, that is actually wrong. I have mentioned only two, that is again wrong. But 1 and 2 is the exact answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And in question number 7,
7. Yeah.
first bit, that green
Oh,
haze action.
first week. Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, that
This
bit I in 7, bit I, green haze action
aim to
aim to
strengthen
strengthen.
supervision of solid waste imports. No, ma'am. It's not that right. Sorry, B and 2. Sorry, 1 and 2 both are correct.
Um, 1 and 2, that green haze, another thing, something green fence was written in the material. So are they same?
1 second, I'll go to the material again. Yeah, here, right? So green hedge action.
Hello.
Yeah, here also green hedge action aim to strengthen supervision of solid waste imports. That's what mentioned, ma'am. Green hedge action aim
Uh,
to strengthen supervision
would
of
you
solid
please
waste.
repeat? Would you please repeat again? Would you please repeat again? It is
Green,
not audible to me. Yes.
green hedge. Is it visible, right? The material. Yeah. So Green Hedge Action
Okay.
2014 to 16 aimed to strengthen
Mhm.
supervision of solid waste import and crack down on smuggling waste.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's
Thank you.
correct. Yeah, that's also correct. And then SWOT policies 2017 prohibited import of plastic waste into China by December 31. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other doubts? We can unmute and you can ask. If you have no doubts, you can leave the meet. No problem. Thank you so much. What is the role of G20 in plastic pollution? G20. Can I answer this question in the next meet, sir? Yeah, surely I will check into this and a clarity answer I will give you in the next session. I'll note down. Role of G20 in plastic pollution. Plastic pollution management, I guess. Thank you. So G20, I think last G20 2023 in India we are talking about. We have some notable implementation for biodiesel, like conventional fuels, promotion to biodiesel. That's the main agenda they had. Uh, like I don't know, nothing is related to plastic pollution, I guess, we'll look into it. I'll if I get anything, I'll share surely. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Yeah. If no more question, I will end up the meeting. Thank you so much for joining. I'll close the meeting.